Here in the building. So all you have to do is look for the antenna that has MDR in the antenna. Look for MDR and then type helping hand. Singular helping hand, and you can get on the Wi-Fi, and then you can do Facebook and do Twitter or Instagram if you choose. That was our little commercial. So I would like for you to turn to page 3. It's the third page. So if you actually open it, if you flip it open, it's just the first page. And you'll see what we're featuring in the Tech Center. The Tech Center has 9 state-of-the-art touchscreen computers. Now, these touchscreen computers were ideal in a senior population because it allows the senior to touch the screen. We actually did a class earlier today, and for those who are on Facebook, you could see the picture of the students that were in the first class. It makes a huge difference when you can touch the screen versus having to use the mouse, because some of our seniors don't have as much mobility with their hand as some of us, not senior yet. How about that? Not senior yet. So it was really, really, really good. And in addition to the computers, we're using this software called LD. This is a program that was actually developed in England for senior citizens in England. And so it's a user-friendly environment that runs on top of the operating system, the Windows operating system. And it really just allows the seniors to focus on 4 things: chatting with each other, surfing on the internet, sending email, and there's one other thing I forget. I'm sorry, I'm getting to that senior level. So real simple. So they were on it today, and they loved it. Do we have any of the participants or any in the class that we're here? We have one. So am I being true? Matter of fact, stand up if you can. Stand up. Let us see. And I think this young lady, she came in with a frown, and when she left, she was smiling. So we did a good thing in the computer lab. So in the computer lab, the lab is free to residents. So if you're a resident here, it's free for you to use the lab. We have Wi-Fi, so if you're a resident, you have your own tablet or if you have your own phone and you don't want to run your minutes up on your phone, just connect to our Wi-Fi and come down here and go for broke. You can do it all you want. Now, if you're a resident, your family and your friends can join our system, our Mercy Douglas Neighborhood Network system, because this same system is going to be duplicated at all of the Mercy Douglas housing sites, and the housing sites are featured in this same book, so you can look and see. We're going to be coming to a housing site near you. Okay, so thank you. So in addition to that, your friends and family can join. There is a small cost for them to participate. The hourly rental rate is just $5 an hour. Now I know I was just at Kinko's looking to use a computer. They charge by the minute. So you are paying $1 and $2 per minute. So there are 60 minutes in an hour, so the cheapest you would pay is $60. We're saying $5, and this is just a sustainability fee because we all know everything costs money. So if we don't want just a beautiful lab today, we want a beautiful lab next year. So we need to have sustainability funds for that to happen. Now with printing, everyone has to pay to print because no paper, comes out for free. So it's just a small, tiny fee. If you want to print, you'll pay for that. Okay? Now, this neighborhood network, it is not just for the residents here. It is actually for the surrounding neighborhood. So we'll be identifying what the zip codes will be or neighborhood groups like Haddington and things like that. And those residents can also participate. But they'll have to come in. There's a small annual fee, $25. So I have to fill out an application. We're going to take, copies of some ID so that we can have some control with it. But they'll be able to do it. And this is a great system. One of the future things that we're looking at doing is after-school programs, because where these senior sites are, we have so many kids in the neighborhood who don't have a quality place to go to after school. So these sites can also double and give that ability to these kids. So it's just so many great things we can do in this platform of the Mercy Douglas Network neighborhood. So I just want to now jump forward and talk about, for this lab to work, we actually need, computer people to come into service the lab. Now, I said earlier, I'm president CEO of my company, JCW Computer Consulting. So I am not going to be the person that comes every time to service it. And one of the things our community needs to do a better job of, how do we develop young people that can be, computer technicians and migrate up to become computer engineers and migrate to be consultants? Well, we need a pipeline system to train them to do that. And I'm going to tell you something. The first system that I became aware of is the system that my parents imposed on me. And I'll give you an example. When I finished 8th grade, I graduated 8th grade, and I was within the top 10 students of the school. I had made it into Central High School, just completed Algebra 1. I thought I was pretty good. Well, when we're driving home, my father tells me I'm going to summer school. Can you imagine that? So here I tell him, I say, did you not see the awards I got? So then he starts telling me, well, I know Samuel Evans, he has a program called AFNA, and I've enrolled you in AFNA. And if you go, me and your mother will give you allowance. If you don't go, we're not giving you anything. So the next thing I said was, well, where's that at? So I was put in AFNA. After AFNA, I was put in PRIME, which stood for Philadelphia Regional Introduction for Minorities to Engineering. I spent 3 years there. While I was still in high school, I took classes at Drexel, University of Penn, and Villanova. So there was a pipeline that was developed for me. This is the blueprint of how to get young folks, urban kids, into these high-tech fields. Now let me fast forward to now. Last week, I was in Atlanta for a week at a conference called Varnex. I would bet no one in here has heard of Varnex. Varnex is an organization of IT owners. There were 370 IT owners. Out of 370, only 7 of us were black. Now, these 370 businesses bought $1.2 billion of technology products from Microsoft, Google, HP, Acer, Lenovo, the list goes on and on and on and on. Now, all of these firms that I've announced, my company is a partner with them. We're a partner with Google. We're a partner with HP. We're a partner with Lenovo. What they do for their partners is they give us training that we're to use for our staff. So the way that the JCW or Tech Core program is going to work, all of the kids who are in that program will be interns under JCW. Therefore, they are eligible to get the training from Google, from HP, from Lenovo, from Acer, from A+ computer certification. So this is a pipeline, a way to take our kids who are not being trained properly right now. They are not. It is so difficult when I have projects that I go after and then I need bodies to work on those projects. You have no idea how hard I have to try to fight to be able to hire a young black person out of Philadelphia. I would say it is almost impossible. I've got to interview 30 people to hire one. Other companies can grow faster because they don't have that issue. They have people that are readily available. Right now, Chrome is huge. Chrome is worth billions of dollars in this country, and we are not trained on how to implement. And I'm doing all I can to fight and get Chrome into our schools because it's the best technology. And I think Sandra Thunder can attest to that because I was in her school talking to her not too long ago. But trust me, we don't have the trained folks. So Tech Core 2 is Mercy Douglas' vision beyond my father's grave to get young people in this environment. So with that, I want to say thank you. I'm sorry I get a little emotional. But this has been great. So now, I want to shift gears. Back when I was a kid, I think one of the greatest things I experienced is that a lot of father-son relationships center around sports, really just center around sports. My relationship with my father was nothing like that. He probably couldn't tell you a football player's name beyond Randall Cunningham. That was not his conversation. He spoke about 3 things from before I probably could even talk, and that was business, history, and like economic development. That was it. That was his conversation. So while I'm growing up, he would talk about these things he was doing. He's building a building, and of course I'm a kid, I don't know what he's talking about. I remember running around in this building as a child. So it's funny now being here as an adult. But one thing he always talked about was that he had some political support that was unwavering in him being able to develop. And actually we have two individuals in the room that were instrumental. So first I'll say Congressman Fatah, for those who don't know, is in the building. If you can raise your hand or stand up. And then the second person who the lab has been honored in her name, Councilwoman Jannie Blackwell. When my father had recently passed, we had to go back and find pictures. We were trying to put the funeral bulletin together. And we came across a picture of the groundbreaking for Ralston House, which is the facility at 48th and Market Street, right across the street from First District Plaza. And I'll tell you, my father was extremely proud of Ralston House. He talked about that building often. So anyway, in this picture, the groundbreaking, my father's standing there with a shovel, and the person to the right of him is Councilwoman Jannie Blackwell. So with that, I want to call her up.